It doesn't matter which iPhone you're picking up this year, you need a case. And the folks over at Urban Armor Gear got you covered. And today, we're going to go over for the 12 and 12 Pro. And these are not the ones, this one. These four we're going to go over today. I also want to give a huge shout out to Vincent over at Accessorize Me. I love his channel, and he is the main inspiration for what you're about to see. First up, we have the Anchor series. It comes in black, aubergine, dusty rose, and light gray. It's got softer edges, a sleek, lightweight shell. It also has drop protection, rated up to 8 feet. With the iPhone's more flat design this year, the case offers a small lay-on-the-table design for the screen. On the back, the camera is cut out with a small raised lip running all the way around it to protect the lens. The rest of the back has a rough finish with these funky little smooth designs, giving you something to look at. There's also a slight edge around the whole entire back of the case, giving you just a little bit more grip. The mute switch is plenty cut out, so it's definitely accessible. The volume buttons are covered, but there's this little design that's cut underneath of it that makes it soft enough for you to offer some great feedback, which feels really satisfying. Sleep-wake button is more of the same, which is so nice to push. Now, I think because these buttons do have those little slits at the case, these points are softer than the rest of the case, so be careful because it is easier to pull down. The bottom has cutouts for the speaker, the mic, and the lightning port does look a little tight, but it should fit most cords. Now that Apple offers MagSafe chargers, we now need to add this to the trying of cases if you want to charge your phone. Now, this case does allow for wireless charging normally, and it does make an okay connection to the magnet. But if you move it too quickly, it will drop off. These cases do not have that magnetic ring in them, like the Apple branded ones, but honestly, it's not a big deal. I think eventually more companies will offer these if you want to have a better connection. I think this one allows for enough connection, so at least you know it's charging. This is a solid fitting case with minimal design, and I'm confident it will protect your phone without adding too much bulk. Next up, we have the Lucent case, which is a translucent design, and it's very flexible polycarbonate material. This one comes in ice, orange, dusty rose, and ash. Because this case overall is much softer, the edges are much easier to move. It has been drop rated up to 6 feet, which should be good for most people. It offers the same amount of lay on the table as the previous case. I feel like because the case is softer, it does have a little bit more bounce, potentially offering more protection. The back camera also has a slight lip around it, offering good protection if you do lay it on its back. The back is mostly clear, but does have this little dotted design. It's oddly satisfying to touch and feels just a little bit grippy. It also shows fingerprints, but because of the color of the phone, I think it hides it pretty well. The mute switch is cut out enough to use with no problems. The volume and sleep-wake buttons are covered, and they do offer that same cutout underneath, making the feedback on these just as satisfying to click. The bottom has the mic and speaker cutout, and the lightning port is cut out pretty generous, so you'd have no issues plugging anything in. Now, the MagSafe for this case is extremely good. I think it might be a little thinner, giving you a much better connection with the MagSafe. You certainly know when you make a connection, and it's almost as good as the Apple cases, which even has a magnet in it. I can really shake this thing, and it hangs on. Not bad. This civilian case comes in olive, mallard, I have no idea what that is, it looks like a blue to me, silver, eggplant, and black. This one has some serious protection features in a nice minimal looking case. It has this shock absorbing soft core, impact resistant bumpers, and a featherlight armor shell. This case has been drop tested to military standards, so you can be sure that if you drop this one, your phone should be okay. The edges on this are pretty rigid around most of the case. It offers good lay on the table design. The back is really built up around the camera, providing some meat on this case. The rest of the case has these two angle designs. It's pretty smooth, but I don't see any fingerprints. The Urban Armor Gear is printed on it. I'm not really a big fan of that though. The mute switch is generously cut out, so you should have no problem turning that on and off. The volume and sleep-wake buttons, same design as the previous cases, making it oh so awesome to push these buttons. Now with these areas cut out, I do feel like it is a little more prone to pulling away, so be careful that you don't get any dust or dirt, because it could end up scratching the side of your phone. The bottom cutouts are recessed, but has this little design, mostly because it is a thicker case. Oddly enough, this makes the lightning port feel like it has plenty of room to accept any kind of cord. Unfortunately, because of how thick this case is, the magnet on the MagSafe does not line up the charger for you. However, it does wirelessly charge with no issues, so just be careful if you're going to use the MagSafe and this case. The Outback series case is 100% biodegradable. Yes, when you throw this away, it will break down and go back to the earth. It comes in orange, lilac, there's that mallard again, olive, and black. This case is also drop tested and rated to military standards. It seems just as firm as the last case, and with this honeycomb design on the inside, looks like it's going to distribute shock pretty well on this case if it's dropped. The edges are pretty rigid around this case, and it does offer a similar lay on the table as the others did. The back of this case also has a great amount built up around the camera for plenty of protection. The back is smooth, but it does have a little texture, so it doesn't feel too slippery. The mute switch, again, has ample cutout. The volume and sleek wake button are way different than the other cases. These are not easy to press at all, which is weird because it does have the same slit cut underneath, but for some reason still feels very rigid. The tops around the buttons are certainly stiffer than other cases as well. Bottom has the speaker and microphone cutouts, and the lightning port is extremely well cut out, so you should have no problem with any other cables. This case is really good with the MagSafe charger. It lines up great when you place it on the puck, and it's almost as hard to shake off as the Apple cases. So this case is a big win if you want to use MagSafe. With the exception of the volume and sleep-wake buttons on this case, I really do like the design, and it feels really good in the hand. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in any one of these. Now, of course, keep in mind we got the 12 Mini and the 12 Pro Max coming out in about 2.5 weeks. So those cases that I still have on the floor here, you'll see those in an upcoming video with those phones. Hit that subscribe button, and in the meantime, check out this video. You guys take it easy and have a good day.